Hey, friends, welcome back to the Ready to Rise podcast. I want to chat with you about post Lionsgate anxiety, or even just anxiety in general. Like, we get into these loops, we get into these spirals, and sometimes it can be really hard to find our way out. I'm chatting about this kind of in relation to Lionsgate because I know a lot of us right before like the big 8-8 day, and some of us are experiencing this after. And it has a lot to do with the full moon and this energy, but the anxiety is coming around. Also, when we manifest, we can have a little bit of anxiety attached to that, especially if you are a high functioning woman, you're a high achieving woman. It's easy to get the anxiety attached to your manifestations because it's hard sometimes to let go of the outcome. And again, I know a lot of us are just anxious in general. So we're going to chat about being able to elevate out of that anxiety, get ourselves up, out of that feeling, get us out of the spiral, and how we can try to even prevent that from happening so that we can truly just live a life that's like lighting us up, making us happy, right? So let's dive in. Hey, friend, welcome to the Ready to Rise podcast. This is the podcast for ambitious, successful women who've checked off all the boxes: the career, the routines, the self-help books, and therapy. We've done it all. But if you're still feeling numb, stuck, or like you're just going through the motions, you're in the right place, because I've totally been there, and I've healed myself using the tools that I now teach. I got certified in them so that I could help other women do the same. I'm your host, Audrey Rose, a registered nurse and somatic life coach, and I'm here to help you stop just coping, stop just going through the motions, and actually start feeling good again in your life, feeling happy again. Each week, we explore nervous system regulation, emotional wellness, and rituals that are rooted in ancient wisdom, ancient practices, so you can stop just going through the motions and stop just getting by and start really feeling lit up and alive and fully plugged in again. This is about real happiness, the kind that fills your body, lights you up, and helps you create a life that you are obsessed to wake up for. So are you ready? Because I'm excited to help you feel like you again. So it's hard sometimes to move past the anxiety. Like, I really know that it holds us back a lot of the time. Like, when I see with my clients, or I see with myself even, it's like there's so much that anxiety holds us back from, right? Like, we deserve a big life. We deserve to have a massive life, massive impact, and doing big things. And I know you are, because if you're listening to this podcast, I already know that you are like a driven woman who is doing the thing. But when we get into an anxious spiral, or when we're trying to like manifest something massive and we have anxiety after that, that just like zaps that energy that we need to be in to bring us into that place, right? Where we're achieving and we're doing and we're like really living this big life. We just had Lionsgate, where we were able to get really hyped up. We were able to really like flip that switch. And it was probably, I'm sure if you reflect on it, it was probably a little bit easier for you to get into that energy of feeling really hyped up, of feeling like less anxiety and like I'm doing the thing and I'm so like in this really good zone of manifesting and I feel it. Like, you know how sometimes when you're trying to say an affirmation out loud and you don't really believe in it yet because you haven't seen the proof of it happening yet, it sometimes gives you that weird feeling. But with Lionsgate, we're not like, we're just ready to go. Like, we're doing the thing. Like, we're feeling so good. And that's because there's this collective energy during this time. Like, we're still in it for today and tomorrow still. So, there's still like all of this collective energy because the veil is thinner, right? We can feel that connection to spirit. We can feel the heightened energy. So we know that we can step into that energy so much easier because it's just all around us. We're seeing it online. We're talking about it with our friends. Like, collectively, so many people are using this time to manifest and to have a heightened energy that just like the conscious, like the vibration collectively is so amazing. So it's a little easier for us to step into it. But as that dissipates, when we're home alone on a Saturday night And that waiting room, that waiting period, waiting for this beautiful thing that we're manifesting to come in, or we're waiting, if it's not even, if you're not somebody who's like manifesting things all the time, I mean, it's literally when you're waiting for that promotion, you're waiting for the text back, you're waiting for your friend to call. It's like that waiting room by ourselves, right? Waiting for our desires to come true. It's like, now where's that energy? We might start to spiral and feel like it's never going to happen. We might be speaking down on ourselves negatively. I know a lot of time it's easier to get into this anxious spiral where it's like, oh, that's never going to happen. Well, if it was like this, then, this would have happened for me. Or if this had happened, it would have been better. Or like the date that went wrong, right? It's like you come home and you're just like, oh my God, like if I had just not said this and I had said that, or wow, if I had just not worn that outfit, that was probably such a horrible thing. And we start to manifest in the opposite direction. And again, even if you don't believe in manifestation, this is energy. It works this way. When we start to go so far in the opposite direction, then it's like, hold on, we are reinforcing the things that are not true, that we do not know to be true, but we're reinforcing them anyways as if they are true. And soon enough, that becomes our truth, right? Like Thich Nhat Hanh has this beautiful quote that I don't want to butcher. I'm not going to look it up, but it's like literally your thoughts become your actions. Thoughts become your words become your actions, something like that. But that is true. So when we start to sit there and we start to say, this isn't happening for me, well, that's because of this, well, that's because I'm never lucky, and blah, 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 you are affirming that to the universe. You're affirming that you're okay with that. So I want to share with you how to flip that script, because I don't want us to live into that anxiety and I don't want us to live into those negative loops. I want us to really quickly be able to flip that script. And so let me give you a few ways how to do that. And before I get into that, I want to remind you there's so many new faces here. So if you do not know my story, why I'm here, go back to episode 1, listen in, because I share everything about how I started the podcast and all of that good stuff. I am a somatic life coach and a nurse. And so I love to share a little bit of the science behind things, but I really love to share the simple hacks that we can use to make our life so much better. Better mental health, better clarity, a regulated nervous system, and all of the good things. So make sure you hit subscribe if you have not already, so that you can get access to all of the episodes as they come out. So hit subscribe on there. And of course, always check the show notes because I have so many amazing things down there for you guys. But a little tiny bit of science. I'll keep it short. Don't worry. But you know me, like I'm a nurse and I have to share these things because I personally need to know the why behind stuff. Otherwise, I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time doing all of this. So let me just quickly tell you about the reticular activating system. So in nursing school, of course, I'd always call it RAS, right? It's the RAS. This is a physical group of neurons. It's located in the brainstem, the very back part of your brain, like the primal part of your brain. This is like something that we've had forever, right? It's evolved with us little by little, but this is like the most important, the reptilian part of the brain. And it plays a crucial role in regulating our arousal. And when I say arousal, I mean literally our wakefulness, how alert we feel, our attention, all of that. Like it literally like wakes us up, right? There's so much more science I'm not going to get into, but if you are a nerd like me, go look it up. Like it has to do with our circadian rhythm, so many things. But it acts as a filter for sensory information coming in, right? So like literally it's filtering out everything that you see, people walking by you on the street, notifications on your phone. I mean, it's got a really busy job. It's determining what's important enough to be brought to your consciousness. And this can really influence our behavior, our motivation, our focus, our perception of the world around us, because it's prioritizing that information based on its relevance to our current goals, our needs, past experiences. So it helps us focus on what's important, tune out the distractions, right? Like the person walking by you down the street that you don't know, you don't need to know, like you're not going to remember them later. And it allows us to stay alert and engaged with our environment based on our goals and our needs. But all of this means Our energy flows where our attention goes, as Gabby Bernstein always says. Literally, based on our experiences, based on what we want, based on our goals, based on what we are consciously aware of, based on what our patterns and our behaviors and our words that we say to ourselves are, that RAS is going to follow suit. It's going to pay attention and bring those things in. So when you wake up and you're already pissed off in the morning and you're already having a bad day and you're like, I already know today's going to suck and blah, blah, blah. That network of neurons is going to find all of the things surrounding you that make it a bad day. Yeah, it is a bad day, Audrey. You caught your sweater on the doorknob. Oh, you can't find your favorite, slippers. Oh my God, you ran out of eggs. Like, of course it's going to find all the things. But when we wake up and we feed it all of these beautiful things, when our energy and our attention is going into a positive direction, it's going to follow that suit. Oh my God, it is such a beautiful day. It's sunny outside. It's so nice. Wow, I have my favorite outfit ready for me to wear. Like all of those things. Your energy flows where your attention goes. Whatever we have our attention and our focus on, that's where our energy is going. And I'm going to talk about energy leaks next episode, by the way, but it's so important. So being very mindful and very intentional about the thoughts that we allow in and the experiences that we're paying attention to can help us to get out of those anxious spirals. So what I want for you to do is a few different things. I'm going to teach you some anchors, just real quick, anchors that can help you come back into the positive. I know a lot of people talk about a worry box, and I'm going to share my actual thoughts on that. Just giving it to spirit, giving it to the universe, whatever you believe in. And also, I'm going to kind of give you my hack for not dwelling. So I want you to know when it comes to this thought process, I want you to implement some anchors into your life, into your daily routines that give you positivity. So basically, what that means is I want you pick 3 things that you see every single day. They can be things I like to keep them things that I might see in any environment, like a doorway, or like, I don't know, just something really simple. Maybe it's a certain time, whatever. And just pick 3 for now. And you can always increase this later, but do not go gung ho at the beginning. Of course, like that's not going to, get us anywhere because we're going to burn out. But pick 3 things, and those are called anchors. It can be a time on the clock. It can be literally a doorway. It could be getting into your car, like whatever, something that happens to you pretty regularly. I used to do this by setting an actual reminder on my phone, like with the reminders app. I would set a reminder on my phone every single day for 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. just so that I had that, because what we want to do with this anchor, and I'm going to explain how it works, but we want to interrupt our day with something that's an anchor, that's a familiar point, so that we can use it to shift our awareness. It's like a conscious check-in. So you pick that anchor, if it's like an alarm or it's walking through a doorway or whatever. And then every time that you see that anchor, you are going to repeat any type of positive affirmation, or just use it as a period to check in with your thoughts. When I first started doing this, I would use it as a time to check in with my thoughts. Like, oh, it's 11 a.m. My alarm went off. Like, okay, what am I thinking about? Because oftentimes when we start going about our day and we're busy and we're doing all the things, we forget, like we just get lost into our, subconscious, like we just kind of get into our autopilot programming, and we forget like to be conscious about our thoughts and our awareness and all of that. So check in. What have I been thinking about? What do I want to think about? What am I bringing into my life? If you participated in Lionsgate, you probably just wrote down a bunch of amazing affirmations. Excuse me. And I want you to pick those affirmations out and maybe say them to yourself during this period. That's like kind of step 2. I would start, if you're just starting, I would start with the thought process. Don't do too much at once, right? But eventually I would get to the place where you're repeating those affirmations out loud. Maybe every time you walk through a doorway, you're like, oh my gosh, I am so blessed that I am finding the perfect partner for me. Or I am so blessed that, I am a homeowner, or I'm going to be a homeowner very soon. Like whatever it is that you are manifesting into your life, say those things as you're, seeing your anchor, right? That's how anchors work. I want you to make it as like a positive statement you anchor that statement to the physical thing. There's something called a worry box that a lot of people do. I've seen people call it like a God box or worry box, whatever, where they literally write down the thing that they're feeling very anxious about or the thought that they are ruminating on and then put it into like a literal box. I don't want you to do that. The reason is the reticular activating system, again, it's going to become a little bit more focused on the things that you're literally spending time writing down. So instead of doing that, I want you to maybe do a visualization process. If you feel called to do some type of box like that, I want you to use a visualization process where you literally visualize yourself grabbing the thought that's passing by, grabbing that, thought process and putting it into a box or putting it into, something like literally like as if you were dragging and dropping it on your computer into the trash bin. But I don't want you to spend time writing the whole thing down because that's going to reinforce that thought, even though you know you're trying to reinforce it as a negative thing. Our brain might not be able to differentiate because it's been such a common thought for you and it's been ruminating. So when that thought is up and it's happening and it's repeating itself, I want you to literally drag and drop it into that space. Or you can say the opposite of it, like whatever's true for you, right? The way affirmations work, it needs to be true. We need to believe in it. You can say an affirmation that's kind of the opposite, or literally just stop the process. Just come up with, you can come up with what works for you, but stop the process and literally just say, like, I'm giving this thought to my spirit guides. I'm giving this to, my guides. I'm giving this to the universe. This is not true. Like, I do not accept this energy. This is not something that I want in my life. And this is not true for me. And whatever. And just like that, like when I start to go down an anxious spiral, I like to call it out, name it for what it is. Nope, this is an anxious thought. I'm going to go somewhere else. But then we do need to replace it with that positive thought. We need to replace it with, something that we are excited about, something we are, because we want to change our focus of our brain after that. Don't dwell on it. Immediately speak in the positive. Don't spend time in that energy. I want you to seriously come back into your thoughts, come back, just knowing that like these amazing things have happened. Speak those affirmations out loud. Thank you so much that XYZ has happened for me, like as if it's already happened. Thank you so much. And you can even think about the positive. That's why a gratitude journal works really well for this too, right? Because when we are thinking about the things that have happened to us and we're getting ourselves in that vibe, that's when things are going to really start to work for us. That's when we start to call in more of that really good energy and more of that like excitement into our lives, right? Feel it. Like if we can't feel it, if you're saying these manifestations and you're saying these things and you're not quite feeling it, then I want you to go out and get yourself into that vibration somehow. Go and do something that does bring you that feeling, right? If you want to feel really loved because you're manifesting love, I want you to go out somewhere where you feel that love. Maybe your parents like are cooking a homemade meal and you go home and you're like feeling that energy, or you're with a bunch of friends and you just feel that, really good like love, like from your friends that you've known forever, right? Go out and like get yourself onto that vibration. Like what would give you the feeling as if you had accomplished the thing that you're calling it. And I promise you, it might sound a little woo-woo, it might sound a little silly, but this is how we're going to be able to start to shift out of some of that anxiety when we're working on manifestations or when we're trying to change our perception of things and call in new things. It's easy for women like us who are used to achieving all of the time. It's easy for us to get some anxiety with that because we wonder like, well, is it really gonna, like, I've achieved every single thing, I've manifested every single thing I've ever wanted, it's always happened for me, but is this going to be the one time that like it doesn't work and that it's like, oh my God, I wasted all of this time and energy, or I want this thing so bad because I haven't been able to lose my attachment to the outcome. I want this so freaking bad that I'm feeling a little anxious about it. And that anxious feeling is like a red flag for universe. Why is she feeling so anxious about this? Maybe she can't handle it yet. Maybe we can't do this yet. So get ourselves out of this anxious feeling. And in general, we don't want to be feeling anxious anyways. So obviously we want to shift out of it. So use those hacks that I just gave you. Let me know how it works for you because I love to hear back. You know where to find me on Instagram at Hello Audrey Rose. And yeah, most importantly, check in. Let me know how it goes. Let me know which one worked for you. I love you so much. And I can't wait to see you here next time. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of the Ready to Rise podcast. It means so much to me to have you here and to get to share all of this with you. If this one resonated, literally just send this to a friend, share it with her right now, because there's so many women out there who really need this information. And I would also love it if you could take a quick screenshot, throw it up on Instagram, tag me at Hello Audrey Rose so that I can connect with you and get to know you. But thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Have a blessed and beautiful day, and I will see you next time.